What's up, legends? We have got a little bit of a jam-packed day today, mainly because I've just got back from camping and I have a big episode to put together. It was, I can't remember how many hours, but I cut it down to about 9 hours of footage. Last night I've been working on it, got through 3 hours of footage. I was here at 1:30 in the morning, and then I've got back here early this morning and I've got through another probably half an hour of footage. And the episode's 30 minutes so far, and I've still got 6 hours of footage to go, and I need to get through that. I've got a car coming in for some diagnostics and some airbag issues, and then I've got a SS ute that just got dropped off now that got referred to me as by another customer, which is awesome. I love getting referred because the guy rang up, didn't even ask a price, just booked in. He dropped it off then. He goes, yeah, he knows. They already know how much it's going to be, so they're not mucking me around. I'm not mucking them around. But anyway, yeah, he just dropped off his car. That's going to get done. And then I think there's another one coming in. And then there was another car as well, but I think he pushed it till next weekend, which would be good because I'm hoping I've only got, half a day roughly of half a day. When I say half a day to me, it's probably a full day's work for a normal person, but half a day of work on the tools today, because then I can get back into editing this other episode, and then hopefully tomorrow. Ideally I would have liked to stay here all tonight, but I've got a mate that I need to help. He wants to start an online store, and I said I'd give him a hand, but I'm so under the pump, I don't know how I'm going to make that happen. But it would have been good if I could stay here all night to keep editing this camping video. But anyway, I'm just going to have to make it happen and just figure it out. Hopefully I can get through most of this one tonight. I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure it out. But anyway, that's regardless of the fact. Let's get into it. Alright, so we smoshed out those first two cars. Now we're on this SS. It's getting an inspection and get some things checked out. It had an issue with the airbags, which I figured out in 2 seconds in the car park. It's just a faulty switch, like one of those little toggle switches. But unfortunately, we couldn't get one in Geelong, so it's going to have to order it. So I'll just put it. I found a gas switch which doesn't toggle back, but you can click it on and then click it back, which will get him out of trouble for now. And at least he can get driving. But we are going to be giving this thing an inspection because he wants to get it all up to scratch and see what he's got to do. So yeah, I'm about to I'll fix this switch up for now, air it up, and then we'll get it on the hoist and give it a bit of a check over. Had a blown Parker light globe, so I just chucked a new one in, and the switch, we need to get a new switch for one of the airbags. He thought maybe the actuator was playing up, but yeah, it's just the switch is faulty, so he's ordered some new switches. I found another switch that I can chuck in there for now to get him out of trouble, and apart from that, he's just been grinding the exhaust on the ground, which you do when you got airbags. So yeah, probably should bolt some plates on there in the future, but apart from that, everything seems to be pretty good. Even scanned everything, and there was no codes in the whole car, so that was pretty interesting. Usually there's always history codes or something. Yeah, so now we're going to move on to a different car. I'm actually going to do some more. I've got a few things I want to do to my Calais. I picked up a few things on my camping rig while I was away, so I want to tackle those. And then, what was the other thing? Probably should work on these cars, but I don't really need anything at the moment. Sort of flat out editing this camping video, so my head's not really in the space for making this episode. So I'm thinking I'm not going to put one out this week, which I'm sorry about. But yeah, I think I'll just put a bigger episode out next week. I'm going to have my camping episode come out this week for you guys as well. So yeah, still get 2 episodes this coming week, and then last week I put out this week, sorry, for you guys. Well, last week for you guys, I put out a video doing a bit of a renovation on the shop on my fabrication channel. So yeah, it hasn't been a week without any content. It's just that yeah, I think I'm going to struggle to get this video out today. Hopefully by Monday night I should have that all wrapped up, but I am hoping that I can wrap most of it up today. So maybe Monday morning I'll be working on that a little bit, and then I can actually work on my other cars and get this episode for the car channel pulled together, because then I can edit that Monday afternoon, because these don't take me as long. And then yeah, I can at least get that one ready, uploaded for next week. Yeah, I thought we might have found some more interesting things on this SS, because you know it's a VE, so I thought there'd probably be some more stuff that's wrong with it. But yeah, just a few little basic things, but nothing important. Yeah, nothing too exciting to report on this car. So yeah, I'm going to jump back in the office for a bit, but for you guys it'll be snap, and then I'll be back in here working, and I'll start doing some stuff in my own car. But I want to leave this on the hoist for him, because I want to show him the exhaust. And he was a bit worried about a noise in the back, which is actually just the like the ball joint mounts on the airbags. Your airbag can move side to side. It's designed to do that, so occasionally it's going to make like a knock. So I'm chewing through the video of this camping video, and then all of a sudden I just lost my cursor. Like, I could find it on all my normal screens, but in Premiere Pro it had just disappeared, so I couldn't figure out how to get it back. So I had to save the project, close it down, and reopen it, which I hate doing because I always end up losing some of my render, which I don't understand why. But yeah, so I've now had to reopen it. I've got my cursor back, but I've had to render the video. So I'm going to jump on this, and I'm just doing my after trip inspection. And I think doing an after trip inspection is just as equally as important as doing a pre-trip inspection, because you obviously want to know your car's safe before you go on a trip, but when you get back you want to know whether you've destroyed anything. I do have an oil leak, which I'm pretty sure is just from my rocker cover, but I want to double check that just to make sure that it hasn't developed or gotten any worse. Yeah, it seems to be from my rocker cover, or maybe from, it's like some sort of pipe up the top there. Yeah, looks like a job that I can't be bothered doing, I can tell you that. It's really not leaking that bad. Anyway, how are we going everywhere else? I did notice when I was away that I have rear camber like a Commodore. There's no point fixing it properly just yet because I'm going to be changing the suspension, so I'm going to have to get a proper wheel alignment when that's done. But for now I can't have it as cambered as it is because it's, I'll try and get a clip of it, it's pretty bad. Yeah, everything underneath here is looking pretty good. I haven't checked my PO box for a bit, but I bought some adjustable link pins for the back because I had to extend the link pins because I've spaced the rear strut. I had to extend the link pins and I made a bracket to do it, but the bare minimum I could do it had to move it too much, so it's sitting real close to the axle at the moment. So I thought I'll just get some adjustable link pins, and then that way I can just take that bracket out that I've bolted. It's just made like a bolt-in bracket. I'll take that out and put the actual link pins in there and adjust those, because yeah, when I was away I was worried that this might happen, but it was fine driving pretty much all the time. But when I was on heavy corrugated roads, it was like vibrating. It was bad as. Yeah, there's that. I think I've been having problems with my central locking. Like, it'll lock and unlock fine, but randomly my alarm goes off, and I reckon it's because my bonnet, I just noticed the other day when I was driving, it kept coming up with, doesn't very often, but it comes up with bonnet open, and I'm like, well, my bonnet's clearly shut. So I'm thinking the sensor must be dirty or buggered, and that's why sometimes it's picking up, someone's opened the bonnet, and then it freaks out and the alarm goes off. So I'm going to check that out. I'll have to pick my brain, have a bit of a think. But yeah, there's a few things I want to tackle on this car. I wouldn't mind having a look at the driver's door window, but last time I pulled the door apart, I just remember thinking, stuff that. But maybe we should just get into it. I think that what it looked like was the whole regulator was like the door. Like, I don't know, it looked pretty wild, but maybe we'll pull that apart and have a look, because when I press the switch, it seems like the switch is working, but the window reg's not. So yeah, I don't know whether just to order another window reg and then just pull it apart and replace it, but I mean, it didn't take that long to take the door trim off, so I guess we'll do that. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. Well, it looks like we had a couple little wins there on the Land Rover. I don't know for sure, but it seems like the bonnet sensor thing's fixed. It just seemed like it was dirty. And then the driver's window reg, I thought I'm just going to pull it apart, double check the wiring, see whether the sensors, like whether the switch is working. So I pulled it apart and checked that it was getting power and whatnot, and the switch is fine. So then I thought I'll pull out the window regulator so I know exactly what one it is, and I'll order one. And I pulled the window regulator and I was looking at it and I couldn't move the motor at all, like changing the polarities wouldn't go up or down. Trying to pull the cable to see whether I could get it to spin at all, and I couldn't get it to move at all, and I just thought, oh, look, worst case scenario, I'm not going to be driving the car until my next trip, which is, like I said, a couple months away. Why not just pull the motor off and just see whether I can figure out anything with the motor. I pulled off the motor, found out it was like locked up real tight. I couldn't spin it at all. So I just grabbed the multi-grips and chucked them on there and grabbed it, and it actually was pretty stuck. But yeah, bang, come undone, and I spun it up and it seems to be working fine. I think because of the lack of use that this car gets, I must have put it up and maybe I'd put it up too hard and then it'd just like bound up there or something. Like, we'll see. It probably will stuff up again, but for now it's working. I think what I will do is order another window regulator for this car, so I've at least got one, and then I can always chuck it in the car if I go away or something and have to replace it. But I think it's going to be fine. But I think I'm thinking about it now. I just ordered some rear struts for it so that I can get them and then take the spring out and take it to Petters, or I might take the whole strut to Petters. I'll see about getting some heavy duty rear springs, and then, like I said, if not, I'll get my suppliers to build me an airbag strut for the rear. But I'd rather stick with just springs, just because it's just less stuff. I don't have to have a compressor in that. Which, ironically, I've got a compressor in the car, I guess, so yeah, I don't know, it's just less stuff. I'd rather it just be a spring. But yeah, so the window reg seems to be fixed for now. It's a pretty easy window reg to pull apart, actually. When I first pulled the door apart, I went stuff that and put it back together, and then I went to pull it apart then and thought the same thing, but I thought, mate, you owned a Wreckers for like over a decade, you know what you're doing, you'll be fine. So yeah, I pulled it apart, and then yeah, we got that fixed, and then yeah, we got the struts sorted. I think I'm going to have to look at getting some different offset wheels at some point, but again, I want to try and get the most out of these wheels and tyres until they're sort of buggered, and then get a different set with a slightly wider offset, just to give it a bit more of an aggressive look. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy that it just looks a bit of a plain Jane, this car, because, you know, I did think about going down the track with the big four-wheel drive. I actually wanted a GU coil cab and that, but I couldn't afford it. But then, ironically, when I was away last time, I was driving back down from Portland into whereabouts did I see him? I think I was coming through Winchelsea, and there was a brand new cop car sitting in the middle of the highway, and I'm like, well, they're not falling anyway, and you can clearly see them. And I didn't really think much of it other than that. But then turns out all the boys went through there and they all got issued defect notices. So the good thing about having a car that's roadworthy is I don't have to worry about that. You know, I've got a lot of cars that are modified, but borderline whether they're good or not. But yeah, at least the cars that I use all the time, you know, you want to have them so that they're not going to get in trouble every 2 seconds. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about fixing that. I'll at least go through the drive-through again. Not that that's a good thing, because it was stopping me from going through Macca's and stuff, because I didn't have a window to put down. Yeah, so alright, well, we've finished that now. I think what we'll do from here is, let me have a look at my list. Yeah, the last thing to do on this is give it a good wash, because like I said, it's just covered in bugs. And then while I've got all the stuff out to clean that, I'm going to give the Calais a quick wash, which that just needs like just snow foam and then wash it off. I wanted to try and get it done this morning before the sun was out too hard, but it is what it is. And then the Calais, I wanted to work on that. We've got a couple other things to do on that, so we'll wash both these cars and I'll bring the Calais in. And then, anyway, I'm going to go order this window reg, and I'll see you guys when I've got the cars outside. tiniest leak in my airbag system in the Calais. The airbags themselves won't air out, although I always leave the car aired out anyway, but I have left it in the shop aired up, it's fine. But it leaks out of the, I think it has like maybe the valve blocks like backfeeding or something. I reckon it's leaking from the tank or the, like, because the tank's still the tank that it had with the old airbag system, which has valves inside it, and they were playing up, so I've changed it to a V2 valve block, like an external valve block with digital gauges. But I'm still using that second tank as an air tank for storage, but I reckon that the internal valve in that tank's leaking, and then so both my tanks are connected and it's backlit, like coming out of that valve, but I've put my finger on it and I can't get it to leak, so maybe it just intermittently leaks or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, I just checked over all the fittings in the airbag system. I could not get one thing to even get the tiniest little air pocket, like air little leak using the soapy water. So yeah, it must be so tiny of a leak, or like I said, it's something internal. But anyway, it's not a big problem. It's just I thought, oh, while the car's here, I'll give it a quick check over before I've got a few other things to do on it today. But I wanted to check that out first, because if I needed to re-glue a fitting, it needs to if I needed to redo a fitting, it needs to sit all day before I can take it home tonight anyway. Things to do, but anyway, let's get back into it. Well, we've had a productive little episode, I guess you'd call it this time. I don't know whether it's going to come across like that, because I didn't film as much as I usually do, because I've been pretty busy. But yeah, I was very happy. I fixed the central locking and the alarm going off on the Land Rover. Well, it seems like it. Fingers crossed, touch wood. And then I've got to do the suspension, but we talked about that. I've got some stuff that'll happen soon. And then the window regulator, that was crazy. That was an easy fix, so hopefully that stays working. I reckon it's just because I need to drive that car more, because I was only using it like it's set up for camping, and I would only drive it when I'm camping. But I'm thinking every 2 weeks I really just need to drive it to and from the shop a couple of days, just to keep everything moving, because it was the same as last time I went to go camping. Lucky enough, I did my pre-check and I did shit a wheel bearing just from sitting around. So yeah, I need to suss that out. I'm hoping when I do the fix up the rear lift that it fixes the rear camber, because it's got camber just as bad as my any Commodore, which is not great. But yeah, if it doesn't, we'll have to look into whether I can get like a custom arm or something. I thought it had adjustability, but it's got adjustable toe, not camber. Yeah, anyway, appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.